What up, y'all? This is Rhev here, just bringing you another build for Nightblade caster style DPS. This is my own personal and most favorite build out of all the DPS classes in ESO at the moment. It's the most fun, and I don't have to tap, which is the best part about the build itself. Now, of course, we'll start off with the simple things, moving on to the character screen, to skills, to gear, and then to rotation and what to have placed on the bars. Alright, moving on, let's go Magicka. Of course, your caster DPS, you want Magicka maxed. Real easy to get. Health, you always want over 2400. Magic recovery, it's nice, but it's not too important since I run siphoning attacks. Health and stamina recovery, not important. Spell damage and spell crit are your two most important abilities since you are a caster style DPS. As you can see, I have siphoning attacks up, and my spell damage is maybe 2 points, 3 points below overcharge. So it's I pretty much eliminate the majority of the loss of DPS from running siphoning attacks with it up. It's very easy to get around it. Spell crit, of course, it's at about 75% almost. Real easy to do as a Nightblade to get your crit up. Weapon damage, weapon crit, not too important. I run the Thief for the extra crit. As you can see, my PvP buffs, Inner Light, of course, and my food buff. Moving on to skills, let's go Assassination first. I have the ultimate from the Assassination tree just for the passives that comes with it. You can go ahead and read the passives, I'm not going to bother covering those. Deathstroke, I run it on my primary ultimate bar. That's just for the extra 3% crit. I do not use it. Impale, range morph of your execute ability, just because I don't like to get up close. I would much rather be hitting them from a distance since I am a caster style. I don't take any of the other abilities besides mark target, and I prefer piercing mark just for the lower magicka cost of the ability. Moving on to Shadow. Shadow, of course, I have Veil of Blades. I keep that up on my secondary AoE / utility bar. I just switch bars, throw it down, switch back, and go back to whatever the hell I was doing. Veil of Blades is by far your best ability, or best ultimate, in my opinion, in the game. It gives damage mitigation, does over 4,000 damage over the course of 17 seconds. It's just a wonderful ability, and it's real quick to build up, especially with the caster style DPS. The only other ability I take is Refreshing Path. It heals, throws down an area effect, heals yourself and any party members that are inside of it, and damages anything else that's non-friendly. Builds up ultimate real quick since you're healing from it and damaging, DPSing from it. So of course both of those crits stack up your ultimate. I will run Summon Shade later on once I have it leveled and all that, and that'll just be for utility, for helping the tank maybe survive a little better for the damage debuff it does on the boss. Of course, you want to take all the passives. I'm not going to cover them. If you want to know about them, read it. Siphoning, that's the main bread and butter of the DPS class. I prefer Funnel of Health over the other morph just because Funnel of Health, not only does it heal me, but it heals 2 other members every time you cast it. And if you're moving around across the map, and since this is your main spam ability, you're healing everyone. More ultimate gains from it since you're doing more than just damaging, you're healing. And multiple targets at that too. Crippling Grasp, it's a go-to ability. This morph I prefer because it does the damage right off the bat, plus it immobilizes anything that can be snared or immobilized, etc. Siphoning Attacks, I just love this ability. I don't morph it to the other one that gives the health back. I'd much rather have all my attacks, whether it's a ability that I use or a weapon attack that gives me magic and stam back. So it's just far better. Plus, I don't like tapping, hate it, can't stand it, and this makes it to where I don't have to tap. Sap Essence, great ability. That's your other AoE ability. I prefer this over Power Extraction. Power Extraction does more damage, so if that's what you're going for, by all means take it. Sap Essence, not only does it do damage, it may not do as much damage, but it does damage, a decent amount of damage, and it heals everyone around you, including yourself. So of course you're healing and damaging at the same time, building up ultimate that much faster with your crits. Plus it helps with your own personal survivability. Of course you want all the passives. These are the most important passives are from the siphoning tree. Okay, currently I switched to a Destro main hand, Resto offhand, so I still have a little bit of leveling to do with Destro. Taking the passives that I find that might be a little useful. Not going to use any of these other abilities. Maybe once I morph weakness to elements, I'll probably use that later on for maybe a utility option, but not there yet, so I'm not worrying about it. Resto Staff is my AoE secondary weapon that I use, or second bar weapon. As you can see, I need to probably take some stuff out of some crafting abilities I don't really use on this character, so I can focus them on Resto Staff passives, so I can get increase to my healing effectiveness, get Magicka back for having it with a heavy attack, so on and so forth. Maybe run Force Siphon Spirit. It's a 7-piece light armor wearer, so of course I take all the passives for light armor. Soul Magic, as always, I take Soul Summons for the free res. Fighters Guild, I take Evil Hunter. That's always an ability you want to have. You can always swap that on your utility bar if you need it. And the Slayer, Banish the Wicked, and Skill Tracker, just so I can do additional damage and ultimate gain. Mage's Guild, of course, I take Inner Light, and Degeneration is one ability I may put on the bar here and there, depending on if the fight is a heavy damage fight. Then I'll throw that up from my own personal survivability. Not to mention that can also proc Might of the Guild, which gives 20% increased damage to your next attack. You combine a Degeneration cast and then a Crippling Grasp right after, and your Crippling Grasp is 20% stronger, so it's pretty nice. Of course, you can always take your Equilibrium over your siphoning attacks, but then you gotta tap and watch your health go away and possibly get one-shotted. I hate tapping. It's my least favorite thing to ever do, so if you want to play that way, by all means, if it works for you, play it. But for me, it's all about siphoning attacks. And of course, you want all the passives. As you can see, I didn't take anything from Undaunted. Alliance, or PvP abilities, I haven't leveled or I don't even have, so I don't bother. Take all the high health passives, of course. Moving on to gear. Gear, I run currently a 2-piece Worm Cult for the added spell damage, 4-piece Aether for the crit and the spell damage, and 2-piece Adroitness for the added spell damage, and then Dominion Rings with a Dominion Ice Staff for the extra 17% crit. And then second bar, I just run this Healing Staff of Thorn. I really like this staff, so I figure I'll just keep it on that secondary bar for now. But that's how I have my spell damage just a hair, maybe 2 points below soft cat or overcharge. So, and my spell crit so high. As you can see, my primary single target DPS bar, I have Funnel Health, Crippling Grasp, Impale, Siphoning Attacks, Inner Light, and Deathstroke for the crit. Now I switch bars. This is my AoE utility bar. Refreshing Path, Sap Essence, Mark Target, whatever your utility. This is your utility slot you can have. And then Siphoning Attacks, Inner Light, and Veil of Blades. For AoE, it's pretty simple. Throw down your Refreshing Path, run on it. Make sure you cast it on your allies and then on any adds that are right around the area. So you get ultimate gain faster, and then keep it down and keep using Sap Essence. That's pretty much your AoE rotation. And then throw down Veil of Blades every 5 to 8 seconds, since that's how long it takes to charge it, really. It's real fast. Then, of course, your utility you can use for whatever. Primary bar, it's pretty simple. Of course, you're going to want Spell Power Potions for the crit and all that. Funnel health mixed with weaved with a light attack. That's your primary attack. You can use keep crippling grasp up every 8 seconds. Keep that cast and keep it up on the target at all times. Impel is for your execute at 25%. You can start using Impel. Just don't forget to keep your crippling grasp up. You're just wasting the potential of damage you could be doing if you just cast this every 8 seconds and then Impel. It's just silly not to keep that up, even for execute phase. And then if you can time it, also throw down a Veil for execute phase. So you not only do you have your Veil taking damage, but you also have your crippling grasp, and then you're just spamming Impel like crazy. You'll really see the damage meters go apeshit on that. But this is currently the build that I prefer and my most favorite. Hopefully it gives you some ideas, or maybe even makes you think about rolling a Nightblade caster DPS. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.